world. This is Comics Covered for the week of March 14th, 2018. Episode 18, We Are Old Enough to Vote.
Oh, that's cool.
We are. We're old enough to gamble as well.
Only in ones that don't
yeah.
Sell alcohol.
Yeah.
Which aren't really useful, I don't think. Like, isn't the best part to get free drinks while you're gambling?
Well, there is no good part of a casino because they're hell.
Oh, hey, that's damnation.
I realized that after I said it, but that was not the intent because I actually say this on a regular basis because casinos are, in fact,
do you not
actual
like casinos?
hell pits. I do not enjoy casinos or gambling or really anything about them.
I mean, I don't enjoy gambling. I just like sitting down and spending as much time so you can get a free drink, a couple free drinks. It's kind of fun.
Sure. Here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and the world around them, the comics industry.
Yes. Comics,
movies, TV, and once every year we talk about games. We will also talk...
Blue Moon.
Yeah. When's the next Blue Moon, Jack?
No clue.
Great bit. We also will talk spoilers, and we'll probably swear. We'll warn you about the spoilers, though. I'm Doug. I'm our resident comics expert. For example, I know who the iguana is.
Oh, the iguana? Hello, little iguana. How are you doing today? Sorry, I'm Jack. I am a crazy person, and I haven't read a lot of comics. The iguana. Who names himself the iguana? Like, why not the Komodo dragon? You know what I mean? The chameleon. The iguana. Like, iguanas are cool, don't get me wrong, but they don't have a lot that's, like, very special, do they?
I mean, there is a villain named the Lizard. So, I mean, I guess this is just more specific than that.
That was the one in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, right?
It was.
Mark Webb, who went to Colorado College, my alma mater.
And made two terrible Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. And one really great romance movie.
Yeah, that movie's great.
It's not really a romance movie, I guess, but it's great. In any case, the iguana... okay, I'm going to guess this is... Marvel.
You are correct.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. The iguana is a villain who basically has very hard, tough skin and has spikes going all up their back. They have been a zookeeper their whole life, but then through some accident involving experimental something having to do with like science research on animals or something, it left him with these tough skin, the spikes going up the back, kind of a monstrosity, and he strives to get money and stuff, I guess. I don't know. Am I close?
Okay, so I mentioned the Marvel villain, the Spider-Man villain, the Lizard. Yes? Okay. And you know the basics, kind of the basic pitch of the Lizard, right? Like the conceptual pitch that he's
just kind of a human lizard, right?
Yeah, he's a scientist who turned himself into a lizard man.
He purposely tried to turn himself into a lizard?
I don't remember if it was on purpose, but it happened.
Okay.
He is a scientist. Oh, he's trying to heal because he's I don't remember if he's an amputee or if he lost his, I don't remember. He doesn't have an arm.
He's trying to grow it back?
Yeah, he was trying to grow it back using like lizard DNA because they can regrow limbs or whatever. And
that's really silly.
And it turned him into a lizard man. But then he gets like addicted to it or whatever. I don't even know.
Oh, that's not good.
But so that character, little known fact. He in fact did have a pet. And that pet was an iguana. And in another experiment gone wrong, this iguana became a half-human iguana.
Oh, no.
Uh-huh. Well,
wait.
Yep.
Wait, the lizard had a pet iguana.
Uh-huh.
And that, just a regular iguana.
Yeah,
And that iguana became half-human.
Mm-hmm. And also, well, okay, that's not strictly speaking true, because he wasn't always half-human. He became half-human by night.
What?
At nighttime.
So, he's a reverse lizard werewolf.
Was not really reverse, but he doesn't require a... Well, I guess sort of a reverse, because he's an animal turning into half-human. Sure, okay. In that sense, yes.
Well, humans are animals.
No, Jack. We're completely separate. Completely, entirely separate.
In any case, what?
He also has hypnotic stare. So he hypnotizes people with his eyes.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Have you ever looked into an iguana's eyes?
I mean, it is mesmerizing.
It is. Are you just joking? It's right. It is actually mesmerizing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, so hypnotic stare, what else does he got? Does he at least look kind of like an iguana? Did I get the look? Does he have leathery skin?
I mean, he's a big, scaly reptile man. He looks like the lizard, but with like a fin on his back, and he doesn't wear a lab coat.
How do you tell a difference in comics? Like, how do you, don't they usually try and make, really different looking characters so you can, tell the difference between them?
Well, he doesn't have the lab coat, Jack. If he had the lab coat, he'd be the lizard.
Are there moments, I'm sure, when he, is wearing the lab coat and it's like, oh, it's the iguana in disguise?
Well, he might have gotten the chance to wear the lab coat if he did not die, I believe, immediately.
Oh, he died immediately?
Not immediately, but I'm pretty sure he died. It says he's defeated when Spider-Man hit him with the same device that changes physiology, and he fatally exploded.
Oh my god.
As far as I can tell, he appeared in one issue. No. He's got 6 appearances in Spectacular Spider-Man. Okay, maybe he popped up a few times.
Is Spectacular Spider-Man a current series?
It's an existing series.
Okay. What's the difference between spectacular and amazing?
The adjective.
Okay, I get that, but what is, I don't know, it's a different book. Difference in,
it's a different book. It's the same.
I get that.
There's no,
but is it a different universe, or
no.
It's just like Detective Comics and Batman?
Yeah.
There's just,
it's like actually, yeah. There have been many. There are currently multiple Spider-Man books, both about Peter Parker and Miles Morales right now. Multiple Peter Parker books. They just put a different adjective on them. There's Spider-Man right now, and okay. I believe Amazing Spider-Man, and wait, is the other one Spectacular? What's the other one? I don't recall.
I couldn't tell you.
Why not?
Have there ever been other adjectives?
For Spider-Man, there was no, that's Iron Man. Damn it, what was the Doc Ock one? Oh, fuck. There was a...
Octo Spider-Man?
No.
Wait, do you want to just try and remember later and you can tell me?
Yeah, I'll come up with it later.
Okay, if it comes to you at any point during the show, just say tinfoil and we'll know what you're talking about.
Tinfoil.
Okay, but that's the iguana. I don't know how much it counts because it died. If it died pretty soon, but I guess okay, now it counts better because you found that he's more part of the universe.
Okay. I got it. Tinfoil. It was the Superior Spider-Man. That was one of them.
Oh, the Superior Spider-Man. Is that about Nazi Spider-Man or something?
No, it's about Doc Ock body swapped with Peter Parker and was Spider-Man for a while.
Like Freaky Friday?
Yeah, he was dying, and so he brain swapped himself with Spider-Man, with Spider-Man on his deathbed. And
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was cool.
Oh my god, wait, did he, like, have a suit where it was, like, 4 arms like spiders have?
He had a different suit. I believe he used some sort of arm thing, but it wasn't like Spider-Man all of a sudden. It was more like a toned down version of, have you ever seen the Iron Spider suit or any of the promo stuff from Infinity War?
Iron Spider is the thing that he has in Homecoming, isn't it?
Almost. Like it. Yes, it's just a
mechanical suit,
robotic kind of version of the Spider-Man suit provided to him by Tony Stark.
Iron Man Light.
Yeah. But around the time of Civil War at Marvel, Tony Stark gave Peter Parker a Spider-Man suit like that, but it had a very different look. It was red and yellow, and it had these big, like, spider legs coming out of the back of it.
That's cool.
I think.
Wow.
I think I remember Superior Spider-Man having, like, a kind of toned down version of that. Yeah, I'm looking at some spider legs here. But
interesting. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How long did that last? Where they were swapped?
Like that was a couple years, or maybe a year. It wasn't like super long in the grand scheme of things, but it was a while. Like that.
Okay.
Like Peter Parker was more or less dead for like a year or so.
Oh, that's too bad.
He's back now.
They always come back.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah.
Fun. How was your week? Or are you asking me since you're hosting?
Well, you did just ask me, so my week was good. I'm slowly working my way through Defenders because I live a year in the past.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm watching it because Jessica Jones came out, and I didn't want to... And I want to watch that as soon as I'm done with Defenders, and I didn't want to miss any references or anything. And
you're going to be so disappointed,
I'm sure that it is barely connected, but I don't know. I just knew if I watched Jessica Jones without watching Defenders, I was probably never going to go back and watch it. So this was my excuse. Okay. Anyways.
How is it?
It's good. It's not amazing like a lot of the other Marvel Netflix shows are, but like it's good.
Do you like it better than the second half of Daredevil season 2?
It's not as good as that. The second half of Daredevil season 2, I was unnecessarily harsh on at the time, but but I went back and like, cause I didn't finish it at the time. And then I went back like in the last year and finished it. And I was just like really pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, even when this show is bad, it's still like really good.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, it's still not as good as that, but it's like, it's fine. It's solid. The characters all like feel right and are entertaining together. It's just the plot's not very interesting, but whatever.
I gotcha. Is Iron Fist good on the team at least? Or no.
But it is funny to see them all just give him shit all the time.
Really? They actually do?
Oh yeah, they are all just like ripping him apart all the time.
It's too
because
bad.
They're just like, you're just this like entitled, annoying rich kid. Like, what are you doing? You think you have all these magical powers and no one believes him, and it's great.
Oh. Jesus. Okay, well, fun. Okay. I saw the hallway fight scene.
Yes, they did have a version of that.
What do you mean a version of that?
Wait, what are you talking about? The hallway fight scene?
I watched a YouTube video from that show,
Iron
and
Fist?
it was like...
Oh, I haven't seen anything from Iron Fist.
No, from Defenders. Where they're fighting in a hallway.
Yes, they have a version of the hallway fight scene in Defenders.
Why are you saying
because they have a hallway fight scene in every single one of those shows. It's like their thing.
Oh. I didn't know that.
They're all doing a play on the Daredevil scene.
Oh.
They do that in every one of them. They have a hallway fight.
Every
scene.
Netflix show?
Every Marvel Netflix show.
What? Wait, I didn't even notice. When does it happen in Daredevil?
In the first season, the really long single take scene where he's in the hallway fighting people in the single shot.
Oh, maybe I do remember that.
It was like
I didn't know
really
that was, like, a
influential.
thing.
They do like it kicked off this whole thing. That and True Detective kicked off this whole thing about like single shot
I love
action
that single
sequences.
shot in True Detective. That was so great. Did you ever watch True Detective season 2?
No, I heard so many bad things about it. I never watched it.
It's so sad. Colin Farrell is great. But in any case, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Cool.
Well, not that you asked, but my week was good as well. I'm just kidding. It was terrible. No, it was good. I watched Jessica Jones season 2. I finished that. That was awesome. And you need to watch it. And it's getting not as good of reactions, it seems.
I'm hearing pretty positive things about it. Like, I don't know that I'm hearing, like, it's better than the first season, but I'm hearing generally positive stuff about it.
Okay, that's good. I think it's on par with the first season. I think it is a fantastic character piece. It is all about the characters and where they go and the arcs and how they intersect with each other. It's really an amazing piece just because of that. And I've just been hearing like some people like don't like that there's not really a strong like central villain for the whole thing, and there isn't. But I think that's part of the glory of it. The villain in this season is more people's own character flaws and such. So I think that's a really cool thing that they're doing, and I think it worked to a T. So I'm really excited for you to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I will get around to it in exactly 1 year from now.
Oh, that's good. No, please don't. Please don't.
No, I'll watch it soon. Cool.
Cool.
Let's move on into some news. So,
I love how you say news this every time. That's great.
So we had the big news in the movie world this week, in terms of like announcements, was that this was yesterday, I think. Was this yesterday? Was this the day before?
2 days.
Which I guess is confusing since this isn't releasing on the day we're recording. Anyways,
it was
this
3
week,
days ago.
recently, this week, DC / Warner Brothers, well, it doesn't look like I'm not sure if they've actually officially announced this, but it sounds pretty final.
Wasn't it on Twitter they announced it?
Not sure. Anyway,
okay.
They're making a New Gods movie, that will probably be helmed by Ava DuVernay, the director of Selma.
Ava DuVernay.
Why? You don't know how it's pronounced. Why are you correcting me?
Because I heard it on a YouTube video.
Okay. I'm going to keep calling her Ava DuVernay because I think it sounds more fun. But,
So you don't even know for sure. You just picked a
but
way
I'm
to
saying,
say it.
like, if both of us are arbitrarily picking pronunciations.
I'm pretty sure it's DuVernay.
Where did you hear that?
I heard it somewhere.
From some YouTuber. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she's going to helm this. She directed Selma and the recent A Wrinkle in Time adaptation, which is getting so-so reviews. But Selma got a lot of positive reception when that came out. So a bit of a mixed bag, but
Did you see Selma?
I did not see Selma. I did not get around to seeing that.
I heard it's good, though.
I heard very good things about it. I just didn't get around to seeing it. But I'm really interested to see what a New Gods movie looks like. I really like those characters.
Oh my God.
They're some of my favorite kind of like appearances in DC. Like when the New Gods characters show up, it's always like a really, really cool moment. And I just have a really great fondness for those characters, and I'm really interested to see if they could make this good, considering their track record with their recent DC movies.
I'm excited because it could be a very different direction too, and because they're not, dealing with heroes dealing with characters that people are incredibly aware of, I think it might give them a little bit more easy time in worrying about whether they're getting it right or not. You know what I mean? Sure. I don't know how to phrase what I'm saying. They're not like iconic, and people don't already have a perception of what it should be. And I think that gives them some creative. I think they can make it a creative. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it could, like, if they do it right, it has the potential to be like this really big epic space opera in a way that we haven't really seen from, like, Marvel has done space opera with Guardians, but, like, you know, it's a jaunty caper, you know, it's not like an actual, like, big epic feeling space opera in quite the same sense that, you know, like something like a Star Wars or whatever is.
Yeah. Definitely. It should be interesting. Is it like, or I guess you haven't read the stuff that they would base this off of, but is it more like, I don't know, morose kind of idea?
It's not morose. It's just like, I don't want to say self-serious because I don't think it's a weakness of the material, but it's very, it's epic. Like, yeah, it's heavy, it's epic, it's like, the stakes are so enormously high, and it, you know, it's about honor, and it's about responsibility, and it's about, you know, very heavy kind of serious topics. And it's also, you know, it's a fun, like, big superpowered gods are punching each other, you know. So it's like there's room for levity and stuff in there, but it's, in general, I'd say just a more kind of like a heavy feeling. It's just almost like, I mean, they're gods, and it's very purposefully so, at least in the original Kirby stuff. Like it's supposed to be almost like biblical feeling, like you're reading these old kind of fables of these ancient gods, although they're the new ones. You know, it's just got a very different feel from a lot of the stuff that we've seen, and I feel like it could be really cool.
So you think Joss Whedon should do reshoots for this one?
God, I just really
so can you tell me?
Well, I was just gonna say, I really hope it doesn't, like, that they make some sort of creative change in terms of how they approach this one from their other DC stuff. But anyway,
I mean, it's dark, morose.
I don't think it's dark or morose. It's just heavy.
Oh,
you know,
heavy.
It's big.
Sorry. Okay. Now I want to ask, because I know they're trying to set up Darkseid, right, in the long run as like their sort of Thanos analog. So are they trying? I guess I don't know what their slate. They just changed a lot of it. Are they going to have a movie where they develop Darkseid as a villain, and then this is going to, like, develop his origin further, you think? Or is this going to introduce him? And then we're going to
be curious if they even use any of the New Gods characters again between now and this movie. I'm willing, like, it seems like a lot of the main thrust of their universe, the DCEU stuff, is kind of very much up in question. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, this is tenuously connected to those movies, if even.
Okay.
But
like Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle's a new guy. We got Orion and Light Ray and
I was
Necron.
saying, like, how Mr. Miracle is not very connected to the rest of the DC universe in the comics now.
Oh, like Tom King's Mr. Miracle series? Yeah. It might be, I mean, it seems like they're slowly maybe moving away from the DCEU stuff. We have yet to see, like, some of the upcoming stuff they have coming, if it'll be more or as or less connected to the existing stuff, but I have a feeling it will be less so, especially with the new characters. Like, Wonder Woman is going to just, they don't even have to reference it, just by its very nature. It kind of has that connection because she's appeared in those movies. But and the Flash movie, if that ever ends up actually happening. But like something like this, like, yes, they've referenced Darkseid, and like one of an existing New Gods character showed up in Justice League as the villain, but like they don't really have to like keep with that continuity. I don't feel like they can, but I don't think it's necessary.
You don't want Darkseid to time travel Batfleck?
Wait, what? Oh,
isn't that how Batman is quote unquote dead in the comics at some point?
Final Crisis. He sends him
was
back
it
in time.
Darkseid?
Yeah, that was Darkseid.
Okay, well, that was at the end of Final Crisis. Okay, don't tell me because I'll have to read that at some point.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay,
Cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm hopeful for that one. We'll see.
Yeah.
Infinity
It's
War.
gonna be at least interesting.
Infinity War, because they moved it up a week. Ticket sales went on sale this week.
Ticket sales went on
Ticket
sale.
sales went on sale. For sale.
They sailed away.
Sale. So they went on sale and they are already smashing every record because, of course, they are.
Yeah, I bought mine already. It was great. I bought mine an hour after they went off on sale at my theater.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of mixed feelings, but because like of course this movie was going to be the highest selling superhero movie in pre-sales. Like of course it's going to be. Like it's got like those movies continue to be amazing, and it's got every single one of those characters in it, and it's like feels
oh my God.
They're promoting it as like
poster?
the climactic kind of part of their movies. Yes, I did see it. It's a very good poster.
The credits at the top. There are like 19 people credited,
including
it's insane.
Peter Dinklage and something.
Yeah,
who knows?
Isn't that weird?
I'm guessing he's doing a mocap character because I mean, I feel like they'd be promoting him in the movie, but who knows? We'll find out.
Well, some people think that. I heard that some people think that Peter Dinklage is playing. There's a dwarf king that makes Thor's new gear in the comics, I guess. So they think that he's playing that.
Yeah, he does have a new hammer in this movie. Anyway, yeah. So Infinity War tickets went up, and they in the first 6 hours took the top spot for highest selling first 24 hours high selling superhero movie or any movie. Let me look. Fastest selling superhero film in first 24 hours. Yeah. So
that's insane.
Yeah. They are going to well outpace that in the first day and are probably going to keep on pace for that for the rest of the week. But pretty crazy. That movie is going to do
also,
very well.
Have you heard about people like being obsessed with Hawkeye and like them putting him all over the poster in front of me?
Yeah, I retweeted the someone's. They took that Infinity War poster and they put Hawkeye in all over.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
It's
great.
very, very good. I love it.
What is that? Because they mad that he
because I think
he's
he's in the movie and they're just not promoting it at all. I think he's in it. I'm not sure. But anyway.
He has to be, right? He's the original guy.
Yeah, he was the original guy.
Oh my God. He is in the original movie is what I mean. What if, okay, here we go. Doug, what if, like down the line, way down the line, they never mention Hawkeye again after he's quote unquote retired. And then like years, decades later, he comes back to fight. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, is it really you? And oh, we've been waiting so long. And he comes back to help them with the stolen Earth and do everything. But he actually was a part of the original Avengers, like Voyager in No Surrender. Yeah. It's like a weird thing, right? That makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
In any case, I bought my tickets and I'm super pumped. I am always under like always have an argument with myself, like whether I should go on the opening night, whether I care enough to like be in a crowd that'll like react a lot to the screen and probably be loud. And I don't care because if anything gets spoiled in this movie, I'll be so sad.
Yeah, something like this. Like if I don't go like in the first couple days or whatever, people talk about it so much, you'll get stuff spoiled, and I'm very sensitive to spoilers. Like we're not watching any of the new trailers or anything. We didn't watch this new trailer.
You should tell them.
Yeah.
I can't
do it.
I can't. I really want to.
I know it's very painful not being able to watch it, but I just want to go into this movie as fresh as possible.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, jeez.
Cool.
Okay. In any case.
Yep. In other movie news, so I explained to you this week, you apparently didn't know about, and this will make sense in a second for listeners. You didn't know about the failed Tim Burton Superman movie from the 80s?
No. Not at all.
Called Superman Lives.
Why would I? What does that even make sense?
It's like a famous bit of failed like movie lore, you know? Like it's like they've made movies about the making of this movie that never happened, and Kevin Smith has done really, really hilarious. Did you watch? I recommended you watch his talk on that movie.
I need to watch it.
It's really good. He did a pass at the screenplay for them when they were making it, and it's just the most ridiculous stories about like what they wanted him to do with it and stuff, and him like trying to talk them out of it.
Oh wow!
Like it's just ridiculous. But Nick Cage was going to play Superman in that movie. He almost got to play Superman. He is, I don't know if you knew this part, but Nick Cage is famously obsessed with Superman.
I did see that he named his son Kal-El. That's insane.
He's a crazy person. Yeah, he owns one of the few remaining copies of Action Comics #1. Anyway, so he never got to play Superman, and now he's gonna get to play Superman, Jack. He's gonna get to play Superman.
Okay. That's just insane.
In animated Teen Titans Go movie. So, yeah.
I would love him to play like real Superman. Like I watched one like short. I watched a short video of him on like the blue like skin tight suit with like long black hair. Like what? Like okay, Tim Burton. Was this after? Sorry, I'm going off
This is after
course.
Batman.
Was this after Batman's success?
Yes.
And they were like, "Oh, I know how to make it successful. You give it to Tim Burton, obviously." Is that kind of the idea there? Jesus,
yeah.
Like that just doesn't really work with Superman.
No,
no,
it looks horrible. Like everything about that has ever come out about that movie makes it sound like it would have been just a god awful movie. but the decisions that they were almost going to make and like the reasons that failed and everything are just fascinating. It's like, yeah, you watch that video of that like light up Superman suit, and it's just one of the most baffling things. Like, how did this almost make it into a Superman movie? Anyways. Mm-hmm. This is all very old news, but I just find it very amusing that he is going to play Superman in an animated movie.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies is what it's called.
Yep. I don't really have any interest.
The anime version of Teen Titans.
It's the what'd you call it?
The anime version.
See, like the Teen Titans, the cartoon from back in the day. I really liked that show, and then like. But I wasn't a fan of their sense of humor on that show. I didn't like the comedy in it. And that's
what they laid into it.
That's what Teen Titans Go is. It's just like the comedy from Teen Titans. And I don't know. I know people like it. I always hear people saying it's good, but I don't have an interest. Anyways.
I feel you.
That's very funny. Nick Cage. Good job. I hope you're happy. Can
you do a Nick Cage impression?
No, I can't.
Is there a way to do a Nick Cage impression?
I do not know how to do that. Just talk really raspy.
I guess you need to like do the whole body and walk around.
Yeah, yell in a insane voice about
good.
Affect strange, confusing accents in your roles. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen Face Off?
Face
by the
Off's
way?
amazing. Love.
I love that movie. It's so funny.
Ridiculous movie.
I took his face. Oh. Okay, go ahead.
So, in comics news this week, the one real big story. So Scott Snyder, former Batman writer, current Dark Knight's Metal writer, is taking over Justice League in a little bit. A month or two. When is this coming out? And they came out with who the artist and the lineup of the team are going to be, the actual Justice League roster. So it's going to be drawn by Jorge Jimenez, who
I know who that is.
Has been drawing Super Sons, and I think he did some of the Dark Knight's Metal, like, one-off.
I believe so. Some
tie-in stuff that I feel like I was pretty impressed with.
Except, Doug, I'm really sorry, because I know you hate Martian Manhunter, so I'm really sorry they're including him.
I love Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter is amazing. Every Justice League roster must have Martian Manhunter on it. So, the kind of the one big observation of this, so the roster includes, kind of the core characters of Batman, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Then it starts to get interesting. So we have Martian Manhunter. So Martian Manhunter's finally back on a Justice League roster. I'm very, very, very excited for that. We also have Cyborg. So we have both Cyborg and Martian Manhunter, which I think is a good call. Because...
Why? Why is it special?
Because because they kind of replaced Martian Manhunter with Cyborg. Like, Martian Manhunter was always, like, the guy, like, not tech expert, but kind of like the man on the phone for everybody. Like, he was the strategist. And they kind of replaced that role with Cyborg and removed Martian Manhunter from the team with the New 52. And so we haven't had a lineup that has brought Martian Manhunter back, and they kept Cyborg on the team, and I think that's a good call.
I mean, it seems like it's not that hard to have like Cyborg on the phone a lot, because Martian Manhunter has a lot of good on-field powers, right? That they can use. So is it because like maybe he can be overpowered a little bit that they wanted to hold him back?
You mean like why they wouldn't want Martian Manhunter on the team, or why they would have him be like the guy who hangs back?
Yeah, hangs back. Sorry.
I think it's mostly just because he's like, okay, I base a lot of this on like his interpretation on the Justice League cartoon for specific reasons I'll get into in a second. But, in that, he's telepathic, so he's the telepathic link between all the characters, so it's easy for him to, like, coordinate people. And then also, like, he's just kind of like a really chill character. Like, he just kind of hangs out. Like, he doesn't...
Okay, he's not like a let's go into battle.
No, he's just like, he's kind of wise, you know? Like, he always has advice for people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's kind of like almost like a mentor character for the team. Anyway, but so it has both of them. It has Jon Stewart as Green Lantern. So this is again the version of this is pulling from the animated series, because he was the Green Lantern on the animated series. And Hot Girl. So more animated series. So it's very clearly drawing a lot of inspiration, at least in its lineup, from that show. Hot Girl is like the dead giveaway, and that plus the fact that it's Jon Stewart. So, and I'm pretty sure I've seen Scott Snyder talk on social media about how much he likes that cartoon. So my hope is, as a big fan of that show, that he's going to be pulling a lot of inspiration thematically and in tone from that cartoon, because I think it's just a really, really good kind of distillation of the characters and concepts of that universe. And I hope it carries a lot of that spirit through. Yeah.
Can I insert one thing about our that Teen Titans Go thing that we were just talking about?
Okay.
In the movie, there's a rapper that's signed on to play Green Lantern. Do you know who Lil Yachty is?
I'm aware of the name. I might have heard like a clip.
Do you know what
he
does?
No.
He says, Lil Yachty in concert says, Lil Boat, all the time. What? Like, that's his thing. He says
Lil Boat?
He says, Lil Boat.
Lil Boat?
Like, he'll be talking and be like, yeah, I went to get some eggs, Lil Boat. I went to get some flour, Lil Boat. I went to get some, like, if he's talking about, like, he's listing something, they'll say Lil Boat after every single little thing, like, as it's a joke or something like that. It's really, really annoying.
Is that a joke?
It's not. It's not. It's like a meme kind of weird hybrid thing. Like, people are making memes into different things these days. And I don't understand, like, I don't even get, like, what it is anymore. It's so weird, like, what people think are memes.
Very strange.
In any case, I got reminded of that with the Green Lantern thing. So, yeah, Lil Yachty, for anybody, don't look him up. It's really bad. It's just...
So, this will be happening after the events of the weekly series, No Justice. That'll happen sometime.
Mm-hmm. Also, I shouldn't give Lil Yachty shit. If you like him, you can like him. That's fine.
No Justice launches on May 9th. And then in June, that's when the new volume of Justice League starts.
Lil Boat.
Cool.
Okay, I should stop. I'm sorry.
So that's very exciting, I think. We got a couple,
Wait, do we know anything, I'm sorry, about Justice League anymore? Like, about, like, these 4 different series that are gonna happen?
You're talking about after No Justice? I don't think... Okay. See, because this lineup is entirely different than the lineups they announced for No Justice, so I think that those lineups that they announced for No Justice are just for No Justice. Okay. I don't think that they're going to be... It sounds like there are going to be other Justice League-related books that are going to come out of it, that are going to be written, I think they said, by the other co-writers of No Justice, meaning Josh Williamson and Jim Stinney IV. But... They have not announced what they are, and this lineup was nowhere in No Justice, those No Justice announcements. So I think those lineups are just, that's a special thing for No Justice, that they're going to split into those 4 teams.
Okay, so No Justice is a 4-issue weekly miniseries, right?
4? I think, yes.
That's what I heard.
So. It's a 4-issue.
So maybe each one, like I said when we first talked about this, each one is going to be an issue.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
A la Milk Wars.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully a little
like that,
less
is it not?
derailed than Milk Wars. But
well, okay, yes.
God, that fucking.
In any case,
we didn't get to talk about that last issue of Milk Wars because I was gone. But the relationship, the timeline problems created by Doom Patrol's delays. That fucked with a bunch of, like, what should have been meaningful content in that Milk Wars finale really pisses me off. Anyways, so we got some like, Marvel and DC announcements. Chip Zdarsky, the writer of
Marvel 2-in-1,
he's writing a Spider-Man book, at Marvel. I don't remember if Howard the Duck is still going, but he was writing that.
Howard, that's a thing still?
Yeah,
I thought it was just a joke.
They rebooted it a while back, written by Chip Zdarsky. Very jokey kind of take on it. He was signed at an exclusive deal at Marvel. So I brought this up just because you were asking the other week about like how writers kind of work for publishers, what that relationship is, and I told you that, like, generally it's work for hire, but sometimes they get signed to exclusive deals, and so that happened here. Marvel seems to be think his work is promising enough and sells well enough that they want to make sure that they get all of his work. So that's interesting. Cool. So that's good for him. We got 2 new book announcements from DC. What now?
Sorry. With 2-in-1, at the bottom, this annual that they're talking about, it's not the Thing in Human Torch, it's the Thing in someone else. Where was it again? Thing in Iron Man.
Where's that?
At the bottom, it's the cover for the annual.
Is that at the bottom of this Chip Zdarsky article?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, Thing in Infamous Iron Man.
Isn't that weird?
Well, it's Dr. Doom.
Okay, but it says Infamous Iron Man.
Infamous Iron Man is Dr. Doom. I'm just saying. So it makes...
What? Iron Man is Tony Stark.
Infamous Iron Man is Dr. Doom. We've already gone over this. Dr. Doom, Tony Stark is dead right now, or in a coma, not dead. And
shit.
That's why Iron Man in Marvel 2-in-1 has been showing up in this almost Iron Man looking suit.
I mean, but Dr. Doom has been showing up.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Dr. Doom has been showing up and he looks like Iron Man-y. He's in like an Iron Man suit.
I guess I didn't realize that they referred to him like so much as infamous Iron Man. I just thought it was Tony Stark.
Yeah, he had a book called Infamous Iron Man after Tony went into a coma.
Was that good?
I heard good things about it. That was part of Bendis's Iron Man stuff, which I kind of fell off of after a little bit. It was...
I gotcha.
It was like a spin-off of his regular Iron Man book. But, yeah, so I guess, yeah, this is going to be a book that deals with The Thing and Dr. Doom and Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be random, like just about Iron Man. So that makes more sense at least.
Cool.
Okay.
So, we've also got a couple new book announcements from DC. Kind of spinning a little bit out of metal. Out of DC, Dark Knight's Metal, the big event at DC that just kind of reintroduced Hawkman into the DCU. They're doing a Hawkman series. So, that is written by Robert Venditti, who is the current Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps writer, which is a good book that I need to read more of. So he's got a lot of experience with kind of like space opera-y content.
And that's Hawkman mostly? That's like the kind of stuff that he does?
That's what I'm guessing this series will be. Hawkman kind of varies. Hawkman either goes the direction of... He goes a number... He's had a few different incarnations, and it kind of depends on what the writer kind of jives with. But he's either... kind of leaning into, he's the member of a kind of a space police group called the Thanagarians. Oh
yeah, they went there, right? That's where we met Star the Conqueror in Metal.
Yep. They went to Thanagar, which was taken over by an evil dictator. Or he's like an ancient Egyptian kind of god, or he's like a treasure hunter in modern day. Anyway, wow. I'm guessing they're going to lean into the kind of space opera-y part of it, but not sure. That's what I would get from the announcement of Rob Venditti writing it. But Brian Hitch is doing the art, which I am very excited that they are maybe trying to put him back in art roles rather than writing roles, because he was...
Why?
They were pushing him into a writing role for like a year or two there at DC, and I don't care for his writing. He was writing the Core Justice League book for like a year after Rebirth.
And it didn't go any places?
It's just not good. It's just really convoluted, and the character work is all like uninteresting and often off-putting. I don't know.
Now, can you tell me something? Okay, so if Hawkman can be a space opera thing, how does Hawkman breathe in space, or does he need a spacesuit?
I don't know. This kind of new reintroduction of Hawkman into the mythology, I'm not sure what logic they'll be going with. I would imagine he can just breathe in space, just because that's usually...
Isn't that crazy, though? Just saying, like...
usually the solution in superhero comics is just like, whatever, that they don't have to breathe. Just because it's easier. But...
I would love to see, like, him in a suit that, like, fits his wings.
Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily always true. Like, in the current Superman series, he and his son John... Superman and his son John went to space, and they both had to wear little face mask things to breathe.
Oh.
So, it depends on what kind of system of logic we're going by. It really depends on the writing team. It's not necessarily always consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. And then we're also getting a Plastic Man miniseries at DC. Written...
Speaking of, contracts and stuff that we were just looking at, Gail Simone is now writing new books for both Marvel and DC, because she's doing Domino at Marvel, right?
An example of non-exclusivity. Yeah, although she has not written at Marvel for a long time, but she does write some like non-DC stuff, non-Big Two stuff as well. So yeah, Gail Simone with art by Adriana Melo, an artist I'm not super familiar with. She's apparently an artist from Gail Simone's Birds of Prey book. I don't know if you know what Birds of Prey is.
I mean, isn't it a way to refer to birds like hawks and stuff?
It's a series basically about the women of the Batman kind of corner. So it was a teen book that was about like Barbara Gordon back when she was Oracle. She was behind the computer, like coordinating everything. Black Canary. I don't recall.
She's technically from Batman, isn't she? From Green Arrow.
Who?
Canary.
Black Canary.
Black Canary.
I mean, I guess she's not really a Batman character, but anyways, it was a bunch of DC women characters. It was a lot of Batman characters, though. Otherwise, I'm fairly sure Catwoman was a part of it. Anyway,
Ivy.
I think Ivy was maybe a part of it at some point. I'm not sure.
Okay, I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, so they're doing a Plastic Man miniseries. It sounds like it's going to be leading pretty heavily into the comedy part of that character. She's talking.
That's the thing I like most about that Terrifics thing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just get on this one.
Plastic Man is great. And it sounds, Gail Simone's talking about how, like, he was kind of the first comedy superhero. So I think it sounds like she has a pretty, strong respect for the character and what he does. This cover looks very not comedic. A man has just been stabbed horribly and bleeding out on the sidewalk, and Plastic Man's just kind of frowning at it.
Hovering.
Although he is doing a crazy, weird, stretching over a building thing that does look kind of silly in contrast to all that. But anyway, maybe that's the angle. I don't know. But yeah, so fun, exciting new announcements. Very exciting.
Yay!
So let's talk about our current books for the week, Jack. So this week we had a bunch of shared books. We both read Avengers number 684, Doctor Strange number 387, Marvel 2-in-1 number 4, Mr. Miracle number 7, and we both we weren't sure if we were going to like read it in time for the show, but we both read Green Lantern Earth 1, Volume 1, the original graphic novel from DC. So this
OGN sounds like it's like an album. Like, this is coming out OGN.
It's original graphic novel. So basically it means that it came out as a full book rather than in single issue form. And it doesn't really have like, I mean, I guess you can format these however you want, but at least this one, they tend not to have like kind of chapter, like episodic structure like a regular comic series does. It's just like, it's a big book and it's one story from beginning to end. Anyway, and then I also,
and Doug, I'm gonna read your books. So Doug, not me, took home a few books as well that we didn't share. Well, because you're eating up the runtime, Doug. The people demand more me. So Doug also picked up Detective Comics number 976, Eternity Girl number 1. I guess that must have been like on a whim, so that's fun. The Flash number 42. He's been reading that, so he's continuing on that. So that was Doug's.
Okay. Jack, what was your favorite cover on your books this week?
My favorite cover of the week was the Doctor Strange one. Mm-hmm. It's great. It's a very good cover. I love this like neon sort of thing with like the Las Vegas sort of look, and then you also have Vegas style rolled dice with villains. Mm-hmm. It's really, really cool. Stakes is high. I don't know. I just like the look of it, and it's really colorful and eye catching. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah, I definitely would have picked this one if you hadn't. It's a great cover.
I was gonna ask what is on Doctor Strange's hip. Looks like a sword.
I believe that's a sword. Yeah.
Why does he have a sword?
'Cause.
Did you just fart?
That was a fart sound from my mouth.
Okay, never mind.
Sometimes he has weapons on him. He doesn't in the actual interior of this issue. I assume because they took it away from him, but he does often in recent years carry like swords or axes around with him. I think he carried an axe around with him for a lot of Jason Aaron's run on this.
Crazy.
But that was also because, as they've dealt with a few times in this version of the series, magic was kind of wiped out for a while, although it's kind of back now. So
gotcha. It's back in style.
Yeah, so he had to kind of resort a lot of the time to non-magical means. Anyways,
well, geez, I watched the last part of this movie yesterday.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
It was great. I forgot a lot about it, honestly, but I see now the thing where he's fixing everything, and it's really funny that's how it's going, as opposed to destroying a city in the background.
Yeah.
So, but in any case, yeah, I like this. I liked that cover, and that was fun.
Yeah, it's got some really great use of neon colors. It's very, very eye-catching, very unlike most covers you see. Mm-hmm. Cool. Who did this cover? Was this Mike Del Mundo? Who did this cover? It is Mike Del Mundo. He's been on covers since the beginning of Donny Cates's run. I think he was doing some covers during Jason Aaron's run as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great cover. So I have kind of two covers this week, Jack.
Yeah, you cheater.
A little bit of a cheat, but okay. So the first one, all right. So this first one is Detective Comics number 976. So if I believe you pulled up an image because you're not reading this, but so if you look at it, so we got Batman. He's making kind of a frowny face, and he's in the foreground, and he's frowning. And we got in the background on some stairs. We have Red Robin, Tim Drake. He's going up the stairs. And he's angry, and he's looking back behind him, and he says, "I trusted you, Batman, never again." And I just like to imagine that just behind Batman's shoulder, as he's doing this really frowny, sad face, angry face, that there's just like a little green stink cloud coming up.
Oh.
And he did a stinky one.
That's literally, like, that was the joke that you made up in your head?
I look at this cover, and his face he's frowning so much, and Tim is so angry at him. What did he do?
I guess so. Maybe he sharted. He
farted a little bit. Is that what I think happened? I
went to the place.
What now?
I thought it was jacking off, honestly.
Oh my god. Why would he be so angry about that, though?
Because he's fucking Batman.
Batman angrily masturbating.
Need I say more?
He's doing it on this panel.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually, though, I really like the cover on. That is actually a nice looking cover. That Batman one. I just like inventing stupid things for why Tim's
What is the
mad at him.
actual context?
They're in an argument because.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler warning, I guess, now. Starting with these books. But, so, their team, this has been kind of the Bat Family team book, and the team has kind of fallen apart because, Batwoman shot Clayface. And, everyone's kind of on different sides, but then Tim's was theoretically on Batman's side, but then, Batman's doesn't want the team to be together anymore, and Tim's really angry about it. Anyways.
Also, one more question. What came first, Red Robin or the restaurant? Red Robin, yum.
Seriously. I don't know what was... Okay. It's weird. I don't know when Red Robin the restaurant started. The name Red Robin has been around in DC, has been around for longer than a character has actually had the name Red Robin. It's been a weird, like, future timeline thing that has been referenced in reference to, like, different Robins' future identities a number of times. I don't know when.
1969
You just
was the restaurant.
probably came first.
Why wouldn't they sue DC or something?
Because what are they going to sue them about? This one random character has absolutely nothing to do with restaurants. Like, what is it? Competition for them? Anyway,
what if he makes a mean burger? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I actually liked, though, the cover. Well, I did like that cover. Again, I did say that already. But I don't want to insult that cover. But my actual favorite cover this week was on Eternity Girl #1. And if you've got an image of it. So basically...
I do.
This... it's kind of like a checkerboard or like a plaid or whatever. It's a grid, and every other square is an alternating image. So this woman, she's kind of a shapeshifter, and she has her normal look, which is this very mutant-y looking look. And she's got this look, this kind of appearance that she, in the book, tries to hold on to and has a very hard time looking normal. So this image is every other square is either her mutated look, her weird, like, superhero look, and then her like, quote-unquote, normal, just woman in a pantsuit look, you know, brown hair, green eyes. And I just like, it's a really striking cover. The use of the kind of pastel-y colors, and I really like the title treatment. I think it's some really nice typography. It's a really good cover.
I don't see the typography anywhere.
Oh, do you have an unlettered? You find an unlettered version of it on?
Must be an unlettered thing.
Anyway,
but yeah, no, it looks really cool. Did you like the book?
Yeah, it was surprisingly good. I don't know that I had huge hopes for it. I found so this is a character that's spinning off out of like the backups from Milk Wars, which was the DC's Young Animal and their kind of core universe characters. And there were backups in each of them that were this character, Carolyn Sharp, I believe, who was kind of a superhero character who was rebooted a number of times, and she is subsequently feels kind of like super out of place and weird and like doesn't know what her purpose is. And it's actually really fascinating. It's pretty, it's kind of dark, but in like, I don't know. It's dark in like an emotional sense, but it's also kind of fun in a weird way because it's very surreal.
Okay.
It's cool.
May I look for it?
All right. So, the definite spoiler warning now. We're going to talk about our conversation picks for the week. I really wanted to make sure that we talked about Green Lantern Earth 1 #1.
Yes.
So, this one, we both weren't sure. We didn't make like a commitment to read this for the show, but I think both of us just like, we're just enjoying it so much that we just kind of read the whole thing.
It's not that long.
No, it's not that long. Like, it's like these Earth 1 books tend to be like, they're definitely like, they're a few issues long, but they're not like, it's not like you're reading like 6 issues or something. It's like a few issues. Like, it's 3 issues long, maybe. I'm not sure how many pages this is, but anyways, so it's this Earth 1 line. Can you do you have a kind of an okay idea of what the Earth 1 line is? Could you explain what that is?
Okay. So Earth 1 are these OGNs, original graphic novels, which are made to be they are serving as alternate origins for your favorite superheroes in the DC universe. Like, they have a Batman one, they have a Wonder Woman one that was written by Grant Morrison, right? They have Superman one. Superman one is not just the television show Krypton, which is coming out in Sci-Fi, which I'm sure everyone will watch. And they have, so there are these cool things, and they're like different takes on their origins and stuff. And this one I specifically wanted to read because I want to read the other ones too, but this one was just coming out now. But I don't know a lot about Green Lantern at all.
Yeah.
So I think this was a really cool way to get a, fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Marvel. A fresh start on the character and see a lot of this stuff for the first time. And it's really, really cool. Some of my questions aren't really in this. Like, they rarely make light constructs. Like, they do it twice.
Jack has been very concerned with how exactly light constructs work. We keep meaning to talk about it in the show and not having time. But
also, sorry, before we get into light constructs, Doug gave me loads of shit because I read this one night, and this is my first introduction to Kilowog. And I was talking about the next day, texting Doug, and said, "Oh yeah, is the big red guy the part of the comics?" And he was very mean and had no idea who I was talking about, even though he did say who he thought I was talking about, Kilowog, So he knew, but he just wanted to give me crap because he said that red is, what did you say? You said is the furthest on the spectrum from pink, which is a lie.
No, I said on the spectrum of colors that are technically connected to red. Like, I'm saying, like, on the if there is a spectrum of pink to red, pink is on the far end of one end, and red is on the other.
So you mean a spectrum of shades of red? Pink is on...
I'm just saying, there's a linguistic barrier here where no one who sees the color pink would refer to it as red. No sane person would do that.
But not recalling it the next day is, you're gonna have difference, like,
I just wanted you to admit that you made a mistake. And you are saying that you had a day's difference, and you did, in fact, make a mistake.
I did recall it differently, but it is not far-fetched to recall something as red when it was, in fact, pink.
All right. Dogs are trout now. So.
You're lame. Okay, also, you want to know what he said? Something that he said was, oh, you can't just say that whales and dogs are the same because they evolved from the common ancestor. Or something like that, not knowing that whales are mammals just like dogs.
I do know that.
No, you didn't!
Everyone knows that, Jack.
I don't know, man. You seemed pretty convinced that they were just
I said they're not the same animal, not that they don't have some sort of similarity.
They have a lot of similarities compared to other animals.
So they're the same animal.
No, it's not what I said. They have a lot of similarities.
So pink and red are two different colors. Anyways, this is very beside the point.
Okay, light constructs. I've been confused with light constructs because I don't know the limitations. I don't know what they entail. If they make a sword or bullets, like a gun with bullets, into a light construct, do those things penetrate the other people, or do they just hit them really hard?
No, you can stab people with them. You can
stab people.
I mean, you can make whatever you want. You could make a gun with bullets that are like rubber bullets. But you could...
Is that what he usually does, so they don't kill people?
If you're seeing Hal Jordan make a big old gun, if they address it, which they probably won't, they would probably say it was rubber bullets. But, okay. Not rubber bullets, because none of them are made of materials, but he would have made them not, like, lethal.
Lethal.
But yeah, you can they make swords and stuff all the time, and, like, yeah, you can stab people with them.
Okay, so my other question is, since Hal Jordan makes guns and stuff, I assume he does that on, like, a bit, right? He does that a decent amount of times.
Yeah, he makes light construct weapons a lot. Guns are a common one.
Okay, or like planes and stuff too, to like go into people. Okay, here we go. So this is my question. So since Hal Jordan uses a lot of Earth technology sometimes, because, he's used to that, and since Green Lantern Corps are primarily aliens with different sorts of technology, do we ever see an alien making a light construct of like a specifically alien weapon?
I'm sure it has happened, but generally the characters who are so alien that they probably have like super different technology tend to be background characters. So you don't see them making a whole lot of specific light constructs.
See, I think that's lame, because I would love to see them have to explain, I did a lot of
image research back when you first asked me this, and I found a lot of evidence of they mostly seem to make like non-technological things. So basically just like they'll make swords, or they'll make a big hammer,
Yeah.
or they'll make more organic things, like here's a fist, or whatever, you know? Like,
Okay.
yeah, I think they tend not
They didn't
to
wanna
to invent
put a-
alien technology for every one of these things.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they generally
Makes sense.
don't.
It's just kind of lame.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure people have done it. In the history of Green Lantern, there's so many Green Lantern characters, and there have been many Green Lantern runs, and they show up everywhere. So I'm sure someone has had like a weird tentacled alien, like with a Green Lantern ring, making weird alien stuff. But it's just not super common. There's just mostly just because those characters generally aren't the focus. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's another thing I was really interested in, because like these light constructs, you know, I don't understand, like, I guess the limit is your will, correct? Which is, by the way, I love that they don't even reference any part of that in this.
They
like,
do in kind of a like indirect way,
barely subtextual way. Like, I love, and that's also what I love too. Like, what is it? They're flying around together, and Kilowog sees Green Lantern like starting to lose power, and he's like constant, and it's like when he gets like weirded out by something or whatever, and he's like, concentrate, and then he like you know,
he talks about
I love how they show him
and concentrate, which I think is just like it's a less mystical way of talking about it. Is that just that you have to kind of like focus, you have to focus your energy on it. It's still kind of mystical a little bit, but like it's less like magical sounding than saying like it's your willpower, you know. Which I think was part of the goal of this book, was kind of demystifying the Green Lantern powers a little bit, just a little. But
then what's going to be the difference between them and Yellow? Because don't they have Yellow at the end here?
Traditionally, the Yellow Lanterns, or the Sinestro Corps, although I don't know if they are going to be called that in this, because at least at the moment, they're not led by Sinestro, although Sinestro is in this book. I'll point him out in a moment. I figured you wouldn't have noticed him. Because they don't call him out by name. They are created by a kind of rogue guardian, who are the little blue aliens who founded the original Green Lantern Corps in this, but he creates a yellow corps. Anyway, the Yellow Lanterns are powered by fear. Yep. So their harnessing of the emotion of fear is how they create constructs.
Okay.
Either by it's always been a little unclear to me. It seems to always, depending on kind of who's writing, it's both seemingly powered by their own fear, but then also the fear of others. So it's weird. Because like Sinestro is like kind of a weird, or was for a long time, a weird dictator on his home planet, and so his ring was powered off like the fear of his people. Yeah. Anyway, but I think this is like, it's not canon with the normal universe, but I think it's a really cool kind of primer on the basic kind of concepts and ideas, and it's an intro to what could be a cool universe for a take on Green Lantern, assuming they do more. And it seems like to imply at the end that they are going to do more, because they do sequels to these books.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering that too, because I would love to read a sequel to this. This is like, I love this. This is awesome.
Yeah, they're the only ones that have gotten. Actually, I think they've done sequels to a few of them already. Actually, probably all of them except for Wonder Woman, but that one's coming at some point.
By Grant Morrison again?
Jeff Johns and Gary Frank did a Batman Earth one, which is good. It's fun. I don't recall who did the Superman one, but both of those have had sequels. Jeff Lemire did a Teen Titans one that I think had a sequel at some point. Anyway,
do any of those like refer to each other, since they're all technically Earth 1?
Theoretically, they're all on the same Earth, but they don't really reference each other. No, at least as far as the stuff I've read. I haven't read Batman Earth 1 Volume 2, but so I don't know if that changes, but in the first volume, they're pretty self-contained, generally.
Okay. Huh. But in any case, how much do they change in this book? What's his original origin? Like, who is
So
Hal
the
Jordan?
original origin, he's not, so in this book, they're mining an asteroid in space, and it seems to be in the far-flung future, which is another confusing, I don't know how that's going to fit into their Earth 1 mythology, but I'm guessing it probably isn't really much of mythology. Like, if you ask them, they probably would say, yeah, they're on the same Earth, but I bet they'll just never cross over. Who knows? But, so they're mining an asteroid, and he finds an alien ship, and it has, what is presumably Eben Sur, the, main universe person who has the ring, who gives Hal Jordan his ring. In the main comics, in the main DCU, he finds a crashed ship on Earth. He is a test pilot for jets, for Ferris aircraft. And he finds a crashed alien ship that has Eben Sur in it, who is dying, gives him his ring. They make a big point in Earth 1 about, how the rings can just be worn by anyone. They make like a point of it.
I saw that.
Which I think is an interesting kind of philosophical change, in terms of like what it means to be a Green Lantern. And kind of living up to the responsibility or whatever. But in the main DCU, you are selected by the ring for possessing, great power of will. So he was
and great responsibility.
He was selected by Eben Sur's ring to be its next wearer. When Green Lanterns die in the main universe, like if they're just off in space, the ring just flies off to a nearby planet and just finds a person who is suitable. They're pretty sentient.
Jesus.
There seem to be a lot more sentient in the main DCU than they are in this. But yeah.
Okay. So then, where does he, like, what's his first, in the comics, what's his first villain that he comes across?
There's been
he's, like, getting his
different
powers on Earth
versions
and
of his
everything.
origin. I'm not sure who it would be in, like, his actual, like, original origin, but my favorite telling of his origin is Jeff Johns' Green Lantern Secret Origin, and the first villain he fights there is Hector Hammond, who is a kind of he's like a mutated scientist with a giant head, and he's psychic, and
What?
it's great.
So he's the leader.
He's the villain in the that book was heavily the inspiration for the very terrible Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. And
You didn't like that? I'm just kidding.
and Hector Hammond is the villain in that. Also,
I thought Parallax was in that.
Parallax is in that. Well, I guess Hector Hammond is a villain in it.
He's like a minion of Parallax?
I don't remember what their connection is. I remember whatever actor played him, Peter Sarsgaard, I think. He got mutated and was super creepy looking, but I don't. Yeah, they did fight a giant parallax cloud in the end of that movie, because every modern superhero movie's villain needs to be a giant cloud. Or at least that was a movement for like a while.
What's Parallax usually?
Parallax, well, okay, so all of the power batteries, they have the Green Lantern power battery in this. The main DCU are powered by these giant kind of energy creatures. I don't recall what the one in the Green Lantern battery is, but the one that powers the Yellow Lantern battery is Parallax, and it is a being basically made of fear. So it's a big, like, yellow energy bug-looking monster.
Oh.
But it is a physical, it has a body in it, it is a creature, as opposed to being a big amorphous cloud.
And didn't they do that in Fantastic Four, too, with Galactus?
Yeah.
That's so sad, because Galactus is such a cool look.
I know! Like, just don't do Galactus if you think Galactus looks too silly for a movie. Just don't do him. Like, why didn't you just pick someone else? Whatever. Anyways.
But, okay, Interesting. So tell me where Sinestro is. Where is Sinestro?
So Sinestro, once they get kind of the big group of lanterns together at the end,
okay.
when they're kind of like regrouped, he is okay. So if you look in the panel where they pull the dome off of the power battery,
okay.
If you can find that.
I have a bunch of them close up. No, that's not it.
It's the one where he...
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
The dome is being ripped off on the upper left panel there. So if you look at the far right
panel...
Oh,
I see him!
The far right panel. He's the reddish, pinkish guy over there with the mustache and the widow's peak. That's Sinestro. He talks a lot, but they never reference him by name. He talks with them later when they're in the cave, talking about how they're going to organize... so he's theoretically going to be more of a thing, I assume, in future installments when this new Green Lantern Corps is kind of a little bit more established. And they'll probably dig a bit more into the side characters. But he's there.
Okay.
But maybe he won't be a bad guy in this, because that's kind of Sinestro's history, is that he used to be a Green Lantern and then turned against them, but maybe this one will be breaking from that. Maybe they'll just keep him as kind of an anti-hero character within the Green Lanterns. Who knows?
Would that be a good move, you think?
It would be an interesting move. I mean, if I want Sinestro as a villain, there's plenty of stuff in the regular DCU I can read. I think it'd be an interesting take, but I also would always go for more Sinestro being a bad guy, so I could see it going either way. I'd be cool with that.
Okay. And Sinestro, is he pinkish as well, or is he more red?
He's on the scale of pink, but closer to red than Kilowog.
Got it. Okay, just wanted to get that out there. Cool. Well, I'm excited. When do these sequels usually come out? Months after or years after?
Years. Yeah, they're pretty few and far between. Yeah. It'll be a couple years before we get another one. What now?
I'll try to read the Wonder Woman one, maybe.
Wonder Woman 1 is good. I definitely recommend Jeff Johns' Batman one, though. If you want to read those.
That's nice.
Cool.
Speaking of Jeff Johns, is there a Watchmen TV series coming out?
There is at HBO by Damon Lindelof. I believe it's Damon Lindelof. What now?
What do you think?
I don't know. It's going to be an ongoing series. It's not a miniseries. So.
Isn't that weird?
It's real weird. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to see.
Is it Damon? I gotta find out. Yeah, Damon Lindelof. From Lost. Yeah. It's...
Doesn't he do some Game of Thrones stuff, too?
I don't think he's involved in Game of Thrones, but he does a lot of TV stuff.
Alright. In any case, my pick this week, because I wanted to talk about it, because it's troubling, but it's a lot better now, is Paradiso from Image.
Got better.
It did get better. Okay, so this series from Image is good. The first two issues were not very. I think.
Oh, I forgot to put this in that you just read this. We didn't even include it in the books we read. Anyway. Yeah, you read this and I fell off of it.
Sorry.
I had a weird little... I kind of went off on this book a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, I guess. Somewhat undeservedly, but also I'm not really interested in reading the book anymore. But yeah, continue.
Okay, so with this book, I think if the first two issues encompassed all four of these issues, I feel like it drew on... This is the fourth issue that just came out this week, and it's only the second issue that's, I think, really, pretty great, and makes sense, and is kind of starting to get the plot going. Especially after this issue number 4, we kind of know exactly where the plot, not exactly where the plot's going, but, what's gonna be, going down, what they're trying to do, and everything like that. If they condensed these 4 issues into the first 2, it would have been so much better. It's really, really weird that they... chose to do these random, put it all on you and not really know what's going on until really the third issue. They find out a lot. So I think that you should read these last 2 issues. But, you know, another problem I have is that it's good, but it's not, like, amazing. So I'm wondering, Doug, like, when do you usually choose to drop books and stuff like that? I don't know.
Okay. Mostly, when I decide to drop books, it's not even necessarily indicative that I'm, like, not liking a book. It's generally, like, I hit points where, because how I pick up books, or probably how most people pick up books, is, you know, it comes and goes in waves. In that, like,
Yeah.
You'll slowly just accumulate new books, because they're all ongoing, generally, and so you keep seeing, oh, I want to try to read that, oh, I want to try to read that, so you just keep getting more and more new books, and at a certain point, you have too many books, and you have to cut stuff, and you have to be kind of, like, when you read a lot of comics, you have to be kind of harsh in terms of, like, well, this book is good, but it's not amazing, and, like, I usually frame it in my brain in terms of, like, I'm keeping these books in a box in my closet, and I really only want to keep things that I am someday going to want, like, have value in having the physical object of this, and, like, being able to show this box to someone and say, pick something out of this box, anything in it is great. Like, anything in it is amazing, and I would be happy with anything they pick. And I don't, like, Paradiso is good. It's a good book. I don't think it's a bad book. But, like, I'm not enjoying it enough to ever really want to read it again, and I don't know that I would ever, like, if someone was asking me, like, what's a good sci-fi comic I could read? I don't think that, like, choices 1 through 10 on that list would be Paradiso, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's again, it's a good book. I think they're doing good work on it. It's not like, it's not cutting that bar, you know?
Yeah. When have you been the most, like, conflicted in when to drop and everything?
When my list gets really, really big. When I'm reading lots and lots and lots of books.
Like, what's something that you had to drop that you're really mad that you had to drop?
There have definitely been books that I have dropped, and then a lot of times, a lot of the big superhero stuff that I drop, I regret. I dropped the current Green Arrow run.
Because the artist stuff, right?
Yeah, because the story, I really like the story, but the art was so inconsistent in a way that most other Rebirth books weren't. And, like, not that the art wasn't good, but it was there were 2 really, really good artists. And then it was like you'd see one of the 2 of them, like, every 5 issues. And it wasn't, and that was, like, split between the 2 of them. And they were theoretically, at least how they were marketing it, those were the core artists on the book. And it was frustrating. It was really frustrating to me, and I couldn't really reconcile that. That was one that I've really regretted, because I've heard really good things about the rest of that run, and I probably will at some point go back and finish it. But, it's just like, you know, you look at the books you're reading currently in terms of, like, what is the stuff that I really, really love and I definitely want to read, and what is the stuff that I would be willing to sacrifice so I can keep reading this other stuff, you know? I don't know, I don't think you're, I mean, it's all depending on how much you're willing to spend, really, like...
Yeah, also, these are $5 each.
Paradiso is? Jeez.
Yeah.
Every issue?
Isn't that a lot?
That's...
Every issue, I think, is $5.
Yeah. 4 is usually, like, the average high end. 5. I
think it's because these are bigger books.
Are they more pages?
They are definitely more pages.
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense, but, like, yeah, it's a bit of an ask if you're not, like, super into the book. If you're enjoying the book, like, go on, keep reading, man, but,
Also, I just noticed that apparently the next issue of this is July, so they're taking
a break,
a bit of time off. Yeah.
Which
so
sounds
I guess that makes sense.
Frustrating to me, considering you're having problems with the pacing of the book.
Well, okay, we just got to a place where they're like, okay, we're going to do this and we're going off. So I think that's why I think they use this as a sort of introduction to their overall quest kind of thing. And like the setup of the world and everything. But the setup is really cool universe that they built. I think I might just keep it on just because they're taking this break and maybe they'll lay into more of the better stuff after the break. Who knows? I'll give it one more. I keep giving it one more. But in any case, what's going on is really cool. Let me just do a quick rundown. So, you know, this guy named Jack has this technology that makes things work, and a lot of people really want it. And they, like, get into the outskirts of Paradiso, which is guarded by these two guardian people who are basically badasses with swords and big fists and shit. And the outskirts of Paradiso constantly get attacked by like ravagers and like kind of rapers and pillagers and stuff. I said rapers, rapists and pillagers. And like and there's two particular people in these pillagers that really want the technology, so they're kind of egging them on to go attack these people. So then when Jack's in the outskirts, the Guardians like protect from the people who are coming to get it, and they have this big war, and people like die and shit, and I don't know. Maybe this isn't. It's a lot, I guess. It's very dense. Maybe that's part of the problem.
Yeah, to me, when you describe it, it just sounds like it's taken a really long time to get going, which I think is was part of my problem with it. Like, I did drop off fairly early on it, but I felt like it wasn't making really any significant progress in terms of plot.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I just don't think they even needed a lot of the first two issues. It was really weird how that, like, it was just so much, and it just seemed, like, really not useful at all.
Yeah. So you think you're gonna keep reading it?
It continues in July. I figured I might as well just wait and keep it on the pull list and see when it pops up. Maybe I'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. Sure, I'll try it. But yeah, it's on shallow ground, though, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Should we do the panel of the week?
So my panel of the week, let's see. So, Mr. Miracle, number 7.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So last issue, we found out that Big Barda, Mr. Miracle's girlfriend, wife. Again, I'm still unclear. I don't remember if they're. I think they're married.
Baby mama.
I think it's his wife. We're gonna call it his wife. We're gonna call her his wife. She's pregnant. She's having the baby. So this is like, I didn't even consider this until just now. We've jumped forward I mean, I guess she was probably a few months pregnant or whatever, but like we jumped forward a number of months because she gives birth in this issue.
At least 9, yeah.
Anyways, so this whole issue is just her and his process in the hospital of them, like in the hospital room waiting for her to give birth and her finally giving birth to their son.
I can't believe they made this so exciting, that thing. I'll let you just talk about your panel. Sorry, but it's just this.
Yeah. We'll talk about the issue briefly in a sec. But my favorite panel this week was so they get into the hospital and we have a panel of Mr. Miracle scot-free going up to the counter, and he tells the nurse, yeah, we pre-registered. First name Big, last name Barda. B-A-R-D-A. And he spells it. And that's it. We just move on from that. And I just like that they just like slipped in there that her legal name on Earth is literally just Big Barda.
It's great. I love that.
It's great. Her first name is Big. It's like, what? It's so irrelevant.
How did that even come to be? Like, is it just like, is it always been like a kind of a funny thing? Like, they never really reference like what her real name is. It's just always been like Big Barda.
I think it's always just been assumed that like her name was Barda and that like that was like her nickname or whatever. But I guess her name is Big Barda.
I'm Big Barda. Oh, that's great.
It's very great. This issue is so good.
It's the definition of how we can write something so, like, just not entertaining and make it so entertaining.
Yeah, this whole issue is, like, the comedy and the drama of the mundane that Tom King loves and excels at in his writing. And it's just really, really compelling. And they have a son at the end, and there may be ramifications from a specific thing they do. Maybe not, but maybe.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Sorry, not in spoilers. It's still spoilers. Yeah. What the fuck is the lump? Is that a real thing?
What are you talking about?
Someone said, like, the lump is like a character.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
I don't know. I heard someone, like, talking about how the lump was, like, some, like, it's weird that they're doing this with the lump.
I'll look it up.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe it was just...
The lump
like
is a powerful telepath and shapeshifter from the planet Apocalypse that has fought Mr. Miracle and Batman. Do they think that he's the baby?
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know that I see the...
Well, no, did you see Mr. Miracle? He said, like, he looks like a lump.
Oh.
You don't remember that? Then
I feel like I've had this spoiled for me now by... Because I didn't know who that character was. Yeah, they have a whole panel of them, a close-up of the baby, and it says just like a lump. God damn it.
What? No, I'm sorry.
That's really interesting. Oh, no, and then they have it says the lump on a... Maybe it's just a reference, though? Maybe it's not literal? Like...
Maybe. I mean, who knows? But I don't think knowing that it's a character is any bad. I think it's supposed to be... It's made like a reference, you know?
They do make it like the baby is a villain, but I'm almost wondering if that's just supposed to be more metaphorical in that, like, the baby is an antagonist, in that, like, it's going to make their life really hard.
Maybe.
But maybe it's not actually an actual evil apocalypse, like spy, but maybe it is. I don't know. I don't ever know where this series is going, and that's part of what's great about it.
Oh my god, do you think that this is like some sort of illusion, like her being pregnant and having the baby? Do you think it's some sort of illusion so that he can have someone close to their lives?
I mean, it could be. That would definitely be the idea, if it was. I don't know.
Oh shit.
We will find out. Only, let's see, this is 12 issues, so we've got 5 more issues to go. Definitely lots of room for crazy things to happen.
I'm so excited. Okay, cool. And then my panel of the week is, and I want this to be a thing more, like, I think this is going to become a thing between them. This is in Doctor Strange, and this is, what is it? Back and forth between Loki and Doctor Strange, where, because in the final of the last Doctor Strange thing, Doctor Strange says to Loki a bunch of times, "Shut up, Loki." And he says, "I can break the..." What is it? Now there's a visual.
He says, "I can." Loki says, "I can break them again if you wish." Doctor Strange says, "Shut up, Loki." How's bats? Shut up, Loki.
Like, I don't know. I just thought it was really funny. And also, the main reason why I chose this was, if we later learn, spoilers for Doctor Strange, that this is an illusion put forth by Mephisto. How does Mephisto know about bats and Loki's relationship with Doctor Strange?
He's the devil. I don't know.
Is he omniscient?
He's got some sort of, like, ability to see what's going on the Earth, because he knows about all these characters and stuff. I would imagine he has some level of, like, omniscience. Okay, but, like, why would he be, like... Either that or someone just told him about it. I don't know. He's got, like, all these, like... He's the devil, you know? Like, he can get someone to tell him everyone's secrets, you know?
Okay. Okay. Now, also, I wanted to ask in this issue, like, I know I'm not spending time on my panel, but I also want to know, because Clea, she turns into someone with a different costume.
That's Captain Marvel.
Okay, see, that's what I need here. That's what I needed.
So basically, the reveal at the end is that some people come to save Doctor Strange from being being captured by Mephisto. It's Cleo? Is it over in Clea? And she has brought with her Loki and Scarlet Witch, and they go and they are fighting the possessed Avengers, who are theoretically under Mephisto's control, but turns out it's all an illusion, and it's Doctor Strange is actually being helped by demons, and that they are fighting Wong and his mystical people that he's gathered. So
sad. Benedict Wong.
No, that's the actor who played Wong.
No, that's Wong. I know, it's Benedict Wong.
No. That's the actor who...
Isn't that funny, though? That
it is funny that Benedict Wong played Wong. I bet he was really unsure about if you should take that role.
Oh, yeah?
I'm saying I bet he was. They're like, you want to play Wong? And he's like, wait, really?
Are you joking?
Is this a joke?
Oh, gosh.
Is this a good career move for me?
I think it is.
Yeah, he's in a big old blockbuster.
Does Wong ever become Sorcerer Supreme?
I don't know. No idea.
Okay. In any case, another great book. That panel, Shut Up Loki. I love their dynamic that they can always have now.
Yeah,
so I hope that continues.
I like how they've got this new kind of like antagonistic yet on the same side relationship now after that arc. I like that they got a little bit more of some sort of connection. Those two characters that I don't really traditionally have like that much to do with each other.
I feel that.
It's great.
Cool.
And then, Jack, I'm going to ask you real quick to do a one-sentence synopsis. I'm going to have you do that for the number 4 issue of Marvel 2-in-1, specifically this issue.
Okay, here we go. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm just going to do this based off of the top of my head. Okay. And a weird appearance by Spider-Man, random, right?
He's their friend. Spider-Man is very good friends with the Fantastic Four.
Okay, I didn't know that. But, okay. And he's kind of an asshole to them, because they're the dumb members.
Yeah.
Okay, so, after being bullied by Spider-Man, the Thing and Human Torch and their new scientist friend, Rachna, go off into another dimension to find Reed Richards and Sue Storm. But when they get there, they find it is not where their Reed Richards and Sue Storm are, but a dimension where Dr. Doom has consumed Galactus, basically, and has become him, with a herald soon to be revealed. So, yeah.
Bit of a run-on sentence.
How's that? I use different conjunctions.
I'm just saying,
than and,
it's very
so
long.
Usually that seems
very
better.
long single sentence.
You're just saying that because last week you had like the
I'm
worst.
just saying, like,
ever.
I don't think that critiquing the grammar of the sentence every week is a good way to do this thing.
What are we going to critique then?
Why are we critiquing them?
Because it's a competition.
It's not. Anyways,
a lot of people think that Human Torch is the Herald.
Oh yeah, because they're all like being like, you shouldn't be here or whatever, you know, like everyone's like pissed at him. That seems reasonable. Yeah. Since he's gone, Thing is dead. That would make sense.
Yeah. But I love this. This is so great, and I think it's really cool to have Dr. Doom as like I think that's a really cool place to put him, isn't it?
Yeah, for anyone who didn't read this, Dr. Doom, they're in an alternate universe. They're looking for Reed and Sue and their kids,
They got this all for my synopsis, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And, Dr. Doom has become Galactus. And, yeah, it's really fun. I'm excited now that we're in the alternate universe hopping part of this series. And it seems like we're going to be doing kind of arcs in each, rather than, like, one-offs. Although I'm sure maybe we'll get some of each. But, this universe in particular seems really interesting and well thought out, and I am excited to see more of it. I really like the redesigns for Wolverine and She-Hulk.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad I know who She-Hulk is now. I know more about her. So when she showed up, I was like, oh, I know you. That's cool.
And Beast is just, like, not a fan of a shirt, apparently.
Doesn't he never wear a shirt?
He wears like an X-Men outfit, you know?
He doesn't wear a shirt in Avengers No Surrender.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
Yes, he totally does. He's wearing, like, his Supergirl outfit. I don't have Avengers in front of me. Whoop. Anyway,
So we'll just take we'll just say that you're wrong. It's okay.
Oh my God. I did not write these down, but I'll just go through what we've got. Next week we have, that's the end of spoilers, by the way. We have Doctor Strange Damnation number 3. We have Ice Cream Man, also number 3. Justice League number 41. We have...
That's ending on 43, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, I read that today. It's ending on 43.
Gotcha. Thanos.
And then this Doctor Strange was the last Doctor Strange to tie into Damnation.
Okay. So, I think Donny Cates has he has like another arc after Damnation in Doctor Strange, and then he's done.
Yeah.
Thanos number 17.
That's next week?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
And also, asked me the other week, like, is there just like a list somewhere where you can go and see all the books that are coming out? Yes, there is. I will send you the link.
Oh yeah, not Comic Geeks.
It's generally helpful, but it helps to double check.
Okay.
But anyways, so that's probably going to do it for this week. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening.
Ice Cream Man number 3.
What?
You didn't say Ice Cream Man, did you?
Did say Ice Cream.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you so much for listening. We're a new podcast. Generally, we're on episode 18, so we are legally an adult now. So you can't tell us what to do.
It's great.
So the absolute biggest thing you can do for us is, if you like the show, is give us a review or a star rating on iTunes. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone else about us in person or on social media.
Should we tease?
Tease what?
Should we tease our new presence?
There may or may not be some sort of expanded comics covered presence of some kind. Maybe a place for some new content that is not just on social media. At some point, I can't say anything for sure, like a date or anything, but it's coming vaguely in the future.
It's coming vaguely in the future.
Oh my God. We release episodes on Sundays every week, so be sure to check back in next Sunday, every future Sunday for the rest of your life.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Or
That's
better
fun.
yet, subscribe to the podcast and never even have to think about it. And Jack has where you can do that.
Yes, you can do it on the iTunes, on the Stitcher, on TuneIn, Overcast, and Google Play Music, along with some other ones that we don't necessarily mean to be on, but we're there nonetheless. What if we're on like Pornhub or something?
I would be surprised if we weren't on Pornhub with this show.
Oh wow, nice. I mean, we do swear. But whichever podcast app you prefer, we've got it handled. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook under the handle @ComicsCovered, as you would spell it normally. You can also find web archives of all the episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com and on our YouTube channels or Facebook. So check it out. And if you want to get a hold of us with a question or constructive criticism, send us a message on Facebook or Twitter at our email, comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening. We know there are still people out there, because we actually, after a couple of weeks of not having like one big day of downloads, we had like a big day of downloads last week. So that's pretty cool. Do you see that, Doug?
I did see that. I was very excited.
So thanks, guys, for coming out and doing it, and it's fun. I am John.
Technically correct. I'm Doug, and this has been Comics Covered.
Cheerio.